starting. Hi, everybody. Welcome to class. Okay, so this week is a little off, as you guys probably remember from last class. I am moving into the school, and there is still some construction stuff going on as we're moving in. So, you know, I mean, it's just like finishing touches, but it is a little weird to teach. So I'm going to give you an assignment. And this assignment, I'm going to show you how to do it. And this assignment plus any outstanding work you have, or what I expect you to work on today, and what I expect you to work on Friday. So both of those things, okay? We are going to look at the declaration today and how to use Cami. And then we are going to, and then you can just work on your makeup, grade improvement work for the rest of the time. Alden, special shout out to you. I did not get that other video made. I'm having some trouble uploading stuff to YouTube right now. It's so slow. It takes like 7 hours. So obviously I'm doing something wrong. But I am going to do it. So just don't worry. We'll get that done. I have not forgotten. Okay. So then let's move forward with the declaration, which is an argument. So I want to remind you guys, and just forgive me if I talked about this last period, but it's super important. It is on the wall of my classroom here. Do you see the rhetorical triangle right there? Up for all time. It's really important. Okay, Larry, what's up?
Sorry, I'm late. I had to walk my cat.
People walk cats?
No, but
Yeah.
okay.
Who doesn't? If you walk your cat, you're weird.
I bet. Do you put it on a leash and everything?
No, I let it walk. Yes, I put it on a leash. Come on now.
You're the first person I've met that walks a cat, Larry. So excellent.
I'm different. We different.
Yeah.
Like
I love it. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about the rhetorical triangle. And the rhetorical triangle is equilateral, which means all three parts are equally important. And so what we have at the top is the speaker. And then down toward one of the sides, we have the audience. And then down toward the other side, we have the subject. And each of those three things are equally important in making an argument. And what you want to do is you want to think about the speaker. What is the speaker trying to convince the audience to do or say about the subject? Kiara, it's English 3. I think you're in my English 3 class. Let me check really quick. I'm so sorry that I do not have the classes memorized. Yeah, Kiara, you're in the right place. Okay, so yeah, we want to study what the speaker is trying to convince the audience to do or think about the subject. So the text we're going to read today is the Declaration of Independence, all right? And that is one of our most treasured and important documents as Americans. And it was written by a group of men who we call our founding fathers, and they were speaking to a couple of different people. They were speaking to the king in England. They were speaking to other colonists in America, and they were speaking to other countries. As we were on the brink of war with England for our independence, we knew we were going to need a little bit of help. So there are multiple audiences that our founding fathers are speaking to. And you want to think about who these men or what these men were trying to convince the audience to do or think about American independence. Okay? That's what you'll be looking at when you read the Declaration. So when you're making an argument, a written argument, there should be a principal claim. What is it that you're arguing for? there should be some support of that claim, and then there should be a counter argument. This is where you anticipate what the other side would say and you argue against it. So our purpose is, why was this text written? What did the author hope to persuade the audience to do or think or believe differently? And you probably have some ideas of that just from having studied the Declaration before, and maybe from your history class. So maybe somebody tell me, what do you think our founding fathers were trying to do here? Why did they write this document?
To establish freedom.
Okay. Certainly to establish their reasons for demanding freedom, if not to establish freedom itself.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
what I was saying. I just forgot how to speak.
You did not. You're doing great. Yeah. Okay. Why would they send this to the King George? What would the purpose in sending it to King George be? What were they trying to tell him?
That we're not going to put up with your stuff no more.
Yeah, all the stuff that you've done that's wrong, and we're not going to put up with it anymore. Okay. Okay, we just talked about claim and support and counter argument. Okay, so here is something I also want you to think about as you're reading this document. And that is, these founding fathers, they were white men. And the complaints that they had against England that you're going to read in the Declaration, who else could have those complaints? And who could have those complaints against America? And I think you'll find lots of groups could. So I want you to think about that and whether or not those freedoms that our founding fathers were declaring for themselves as necessary are those freedoms that today groups, are still trying to attain. So just kind of keep that in your mind as you're reading the Declaration. Okay, in Cami, I want you to highlight each heading, or well, we're gonna do this first page first. So yeah, let's practice in Cami together. So go to Google Classroom, which is right here.
Do we have to do Cami again?
Yes, you do. Okay, somebody's already turned it in. So let me do this. Let me edit this. Okay, so you don't want to do the old one. You want to do the new one. Okay, so Declaration of Independence, the new one. And I want you to click on Declaration of Independence, the PDF. It probably says your name on it. And when you open it, it'll have that purple rectangle that says open with Cami. So that's what I want you to do.
If you just click the open with tab at the part, it'll probably pop up there.
Okay, and yes, you can also do it that way. That is how my son does it exactly, Jade. Larry, if we were in class, I just want you to know I would be giving you paper copies and a bunch of colored highlighters and making.
I'm perfectly fine with that. I prefer that so much.
Agreed.
Unfortunately, I'm not coming back to school, but
I am.
So Larry, I don't know what you have at home, what you have access to at home, but if you can print this out and highlight it and send me pictures of it, I'm fine with that too. The goal here isn't that you use Cami. The goal is that you know how to annotate for certain information so that you can go back to it later. So Cami just happens to be a program that I can access and you can access. But if you'd prefer to do it by hand, you can. I just don't have a way to get you the text. So that's where I'm stuck.
Okay.
Yeah, I know, Saul. So I'm giving you 2 days to do it, which is really like 4 class days to do it because we're double blocked. So maybe that helps. There is a in school. I've never heard that before. Is that like your class bell?
I've heard that one.
Wow. Okay. There you go. At Northside, it's this big, loud alarm clock, awful thing. So that's very soothing. Okay. So hopefully you've got Cami up. And we are in Cami, right? And it should look like this. Is there anybody who's having trouble getting here? All right.
No.
Okay, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to highlight each subheading, okay? So the way you're going to do that is you're going to click markup and go to the text highlighter, pick your color, whatever color you want. I like green. And then we're going to highlight each of the subheadings.
Oh, wait, miss.
Yeah.
Is it Declaration of Independence, the new one or the old one?
The new one. The new one. Okay, so just that, yeah. Just, no, I don't want you to do all of that. I just want the subheadings highlighted. So that's not what I want. Okay, so we're just highlighting the 3 subheadings. This will make sure, to me, that you know how to highlight the subheadings. Okay. So you should have brilliant legal mind, passion for learning, and the issue of slavery. And what we're going to do is we're going to read this together. And by we're going to read this together, unless I have a volunteer, I'm going to read it. And then we're going to summarize each of these sections using the comment box. So, does anybody want to read this first section?
I got you, miss.
All right, do it.
Like the part where it says Thomas Jefferson.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thomas Jefferson was one of the most accomplished founding fathers. Active in the cause for independence, he was governor of Virginia during the Revolutionary War and U.S. Minister to France afterward. He also served the new country as the first Secretary of State, the second Vice President, and third President. As president, he acquired the last Louisiana Territory west of the Mississippi River to the Rocky Mountains, essentially doubling the size of the country, but more important than any political office he held was the lasting impact of Jefferson's ideals of liberty. Is that ideas or ideals?
Ideals.
Ideals of liberty and self-government, so eloquently expressed in the Declaration of Independence.
Okay, so now we're going to summarize that. So I'm going to click comment and pick your color. And I'm going to just click right next to that. And to the side, I've got my text box. So how would you summarize that paragraph? What information is that paragraph giving us? Well, let's start with who. Who is that paragraph about?
Thomas Jefferson.
Thomas Jefferson. And what about Thomas Jefferson?
His accomplishments.
Yeah, he did a lot of stuff, right? And so I think that that's what I would say. And Francisco, yeah, same thing. It's giving us a lot of information about him, but it's not telling me who his kids were. It's not telling me about his education level. It's telling me specifically about positions he held in our country. So I think that's how I would summarize that, right? Just what information is it giving me? Thomas Jefferson held many important political jobs. Maybe Thomas Jefferson helped found, held many important political jobs. Maybe something like that. Okay. Ooh, found America and held many important political jobs. Now, yours doesn't have to look exactly like that. You might have thought that the Louisiana Territory was significant. You might have thought that the writing of the Declaration was significant. Those would certainly be things you could add, but I'm just trying to get a sense from that paragraph of what's in there. And so that's what I pulled out of it, okay? And when I'm looking at this, I'm not looking for one right answer. I'm looking for your right answer, what is right for you, okay? So just try to keep that in mind. I know sometimes students can get, you know, I want it to be perfect, and I want it to be your perfect, okay? All right, let's read the next paragraph. Anybody want to volunteer for that?
I got you.
Got you.
Oh,
You can go.
I want it. I got it.
You got it.
okay. All right.
Reading Brilliant Legal Mind, right?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Brilliant Legal Mind. The son of a surveyor and gentleman farmer, Jefferson was born into a life of privilege in rural Virginia. Educated at the College of William and Mary, he was tutored in the law and practiced successfully before entering politics at age 26. As a member of the colonial Virginia legislature, he fell in with a group of radicals, among them Patrick Henry. Lacking Henry's oratorical gifts, Jefferson distinguished himself by his legal writing. Significantly, Jefferson's indelible mark on American life came largely from the many legal documents and laws he wrote promoting democracy.
Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to put a comment. What is this about? What could we say this paragraph is really about?
His education.
Yeah. So he was a well-educated EDUC. I'm going to say, I think for me, it's also that he was a writer. Patrick Henry was an orator, so he was a really good speaker, but Jefferson was a really good writer. I might even add that he was wealthy. Was wealthy, well-educated, and a gifted writer. That is, there we go.
Was he wealthy, like from birth?
That's what it says. He was born into a life of privilege. And so that tells me that, yeah, he was born into wealth, which is probably why he was so well educated, which is probably why he became a gifted writer.
Can you go up a little bit?
Okay. Yes, I can. Is that better?
Yes.
Okay.
You go down just a little bit too.
Yeah. Hang on. I see. You want both comments. Okay. How about that?
That's great.
Okay. I can even make my comments different colors if I don't want to get like all the boxes mixed up. That's like, I can change this color to, I'm so sorry, to black. And then it should change that to black maybe. I'm so sorry. I don't know what I'm doing. Never mind. I guess I can't do that. Just ignore me. I'm just clicking away here.
Just put a dot, like put a black dot on the first one and a black dot next to the comment for it.
That's, yes. Cami is fun, right? Or I can do an eraser or shape. I can do all sorts of stuff. Okay. Passion for learning. Who wants to read this one? Okay, let me do it. Jefferson had an insatiable curiosity about the world and often indulged in what he called his canine appetite for reading. In addition to devouring works on the classics, history, law, science, and philosophy, he taught himself architecture from books. He designed his elaborate estate at Monticello and the buildings of the University of Virginia, which he also founded as the embodiment of his principles of education and individual freedom. So for me, what am I getting from that?
He liked learning.
He read a lot. Yeah, he loved learning. There you go. That's what I'm getting. Okay. And then kind of the famous black mark against Jefferson is the issue of slavery. Charges of hypocrisy on the issue of slavery have tarnished Jefferson's image as the apostle of liberty. In his early writings, he denounced slavery and tried unsuccessfully to include the issue in the Declaration. Yet Jefferson always owned slaves, as many as 600 over the course of his lifetime. And in later years, he remained undecided on this issue. A defining conflict of this period in American history, the controversy over slavery, is just part of the historical context that shaped Jefferson's purpose as an individual and as the author of one of our most important historical documents. So here's what I'm going to put. Jefferson argued for freedom, but was a slave, that enslaved people as
Hypocrite.
yeah. Yeah, there you go. Okay. So that's what I'm getting from that, right? And that's kind of what I want. That's the lens I want you looking through as you're reading the Declaration. You know, these were men. We hold them up in our society today almost as gods, right? Our founding fathers, you can't disrespect them, but these were human beings. These were men who, and human beings, as you know, are capable of such great good and such terrible things too, right? In each one of us. And at different moments in our life, we're kind of both of those things. So I want you to read with that in mind. And as you read the Declaration, as you move forward through this document, I want you guys to answer the questions on the side by highlighting and then just putting a text box explaining your highlighting. So the very first one, what claim does Jefferson present in the preamble? And what support does he say he will provide? So highlight that and just summarize your answer off to the side, okay? These questions will guide your reading of this document so that you understand it. And we're going to talk about this document on when I see you again next, I'll see you Friday, but we probably won't talk about this until Tuesday, okay? Does anybody have any questions for me?
Didn't they say that we'll start like the days with a day, so you'll see us on Monday though?
Oh, maybe, Jay.
I thought
Maybe.
that
Oh,
they said
probably. So I'll
they said
probably, when I next see you, which will probably be Monday. I actually just got an email about that right before class started, so I haven't read it, but I think you're right. But it's Fort Worth ISD, so that could probably change 3 more times.
3 more times before the week.
Right. So I'll see you Monday or Tuesday. We'll still meet on Friday, but my goal is for you to finish this and any other work you have outstanding.
Wait, I was using the bathroom. What were you talking about? Something changing?
So I said we will talk about this. You'll still work on this on Friday, and then we'll talk about it. And I said Tuesday, and Jade reminded me that we're probably going to meet on Monday because that's when school starts back in person, and they're going to start with A Day, we think. But then we said they always change their mind. Who knows? But this is your assignment today, and it will be your assignment on Friday. So you're going to go through this and answer all of the questions. And then when you're done, get caught up on any outstanding work. So that's all I've got for you today. I hope you feel pretty good using Cami. If not, stay on and I'll help you. Otherwise, read and put the best answers possible, or what you think the best answer is, okay? Let me check our comments.
Right on, Miss.
Okay.
Miss,
Yes.
so I resubmitted work and I kind of need grades for them.
Okay. I'm so sorry to admit this, Larry. English 3 was the last group I was doing. So I'm doing it right now. Well, as soon as we get off. Actually, I have some workers who are about to come in here. And then as soon as they're done, I'm doing English 3 and updating the grades. Okay. Yes. Yes, I can, Francisco. So I hope that that doesn't put you in a bad position, Larry. But if it does, you can just blame your teacher who's new to Southwest. And
The coach is not gonna believe that.
Huh?
The coach is not gonna believe that.
Who's your coach?
I don't know. There's like 7.
Who do you want me to email with your updated grades?
Coach Franklin.
Do you know his first name? I don't know him yet.
Darren.
Darren. Okay, as soon as I get your grades in, I will send him your updated grades from Miss Ritchie, an official school email. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so Francisco, to repeat, you are going to go through the declaration and you see these little red circles. You're going to read that, and that's what I want you to annotate for in the text. So what claim does Jefferson present in the preamble of the Declaration? Well, as you're reading this, that little A is right after this paragraph, so you'll see that somewhere in this first paragraph is his claim, right? And then what support does he say he'll provide? So it says, when in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among all the powers of earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and nature's God entitle them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them into the separation. So what is his claim? We have to dissolve, we have to separate. Okay, that is his claim. We have to separate. Okay. And what support does he say he'll provide? It says a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that we should declare the causes which impel them to separation. That's it. I might do this. I might say claim. Okay. Does that make sense, Francisco? So as you read through the document, you're just going to answer any of the red letters or blue letters that you see on the side. You just answer the side questions. But I also want you thinking about, is this fair, or is this really just a document for white men? You're not taking any notes on that unless you want to. I'm not requiring that, but that is what we're going to talk about. Okay. Okay, if you've got it, you can go do your thing. I'm going to mute so I can let the workers come back in here and do just their little bit of work. But if you need me, just say, hey, Miss Ritchie, and I'll come back on.